Oh hey, it's one of those rare times where I actually redid the recording because the original went on so many tangents. Gosh, you have no idea how many useless tangents I went on. So also I broke the recording several times. Take a guess what I was trying to do. So I want to put my little beans down. I want to start off this video with a very short tangent, one that I found rather interesting to look into because as I went through this, right, I started to ask myself how common are like LGBT teens, right? How likely is it that if you walk into a school and you take like a class, how big are American classes? I don't forgot. 20. Let's say about 20. How likely is it that out of 20 students, you end up with that? Okay, 20 students are like 500 per year, so you got like 6 to 8 classes per year. Huh. Like organizationally, not like subjects. So my question was, if Anna went to school, how likely is it in the year of our Lord 2025 that if you ask a group of 25 kids, so who of you wants to kiss boys, metaphorically speaking? I keep forgetting to set it to loop, and I found out that apparently the numbers. A recent poll said like 25%. Another one says that the total population is like 10% LGBT over the whole world, over the whole country of America, that is. Another was like 20%. So let's split the difference and say it's like 5%. In a class of 20, that's one guy, right? That's the lowball estimate. Is that in a school year of students, there are 5 LGBT people. Like probably 2 gays and lesbians and one of those funnier ones people don't hear as much about. I want you to think about that, right? Isn't that like I started to think about a lot of stuff, about how a lot of what makes Volcano High work feels like it's kind of buried in this 90s appreciation of high school. I wonder if things have changed. I couldn't tell you, but I feel like they should have, between phones and just like in general how culture and society has progressed and changed. I don't know if the kind of cliques that Snoot Game and Wani talk about even work anymore. Like I want to, but the real question I have in my head isn't even about the LGBT stuff. It's not about yelling about 4chan. It's how do you explain this? God damn it! Is there a culture of getting new people who join that website to believe that the 90s never stopped? Is there a stagnation in cultural comprehension? Is there a perspective that, despite being completely out of touch, gets perpetuated? Like, do people still think that 90s high schools exist 30 years later? 2 generations of people grew up and went to high school and graduated. The things are still the same, despite the internet, iPhones, cameras, school shootings, the increasing libertarian progressivism of society. Like, I don't know. And I'm fascinated by the fact that some people on the website can fool themselves into thinking that it's still that shitty clickification it was back then, when it might not be. And 2, is it still like that? Because that's depressing. 30 years and kids are still like that. That'd be depressing. But if they're not, and that got me some ideas on what to write. But that's what I want to talk about. It's like, what are the fucking odds that Anon goes to 2 schools and he's the only gay guy there? The odds are astronomical, apparently. Because if we go by 10%, 500 students, that's 50 fucking people! 50 fucking people in that school are on the LGBT whatevers. If we go by 25, 125, that's an entire year of students. That, I mean, let's be honest, some of them are like a little funny, you know, they're like, I'm gray sexual, you know, it's like, you can pass as straight, don't even pretend. It's like, yeah, you just don't want to kiss as much. That's, you know, but it can also be people who are just like in on the trend. But if people are in on the trend, then it's something you want to be because it gets you some kind of appeal and lure, which means people wouldn't bully you for it. And also, and I want to point this out for the 1000th time, why the fuck does Mia bully Olivia like she's 5? Oh, you're Hot Wheels, you're in a baby diaper, are you baby Listen, as someone who was a bully, that's lame. That's not how you bully someone. Goddamn. Anyway, that's what I wanted to get off my chest. as I've been having time to think about stuff. Also, I'm really warm. Did you know that this house, this building that I exist in, right? It holds on. It retains heat. So it's like, yeah, it was a nice toasty temperature yesterday. It's nice and cool today, but your building has retained so much latent heat. It's just you can open your windows and we'll keep it nice and warm. Fucking hell, man! Oh, we're built for winter. What cold winter have we seen in the last 5 years? Ugh, 10 years even. It's like, oh no, it's warm for one day. More people spend fucking power on ACs these days, anyway. Although, admittedly, if the oceanic currents ever decide to stop, we're fucked. 2 days later, the alarm goes off. I know the drill by now. Full body stretch, jump out of bed, victory screech, shower, clothes, ship post. So, I'm gonna go through this quickly because I already read all this, and I'm just gonna put it down. It's just the same chapter, you know. And on this, like, man, I can't believe everything went so alright. Apparently, Stegostar gave him shit. I really love that. I love it when they kind of hint at Stella's knowledge online. It's just a cute detail. Anyway, he's like, it's off to boot camp. He sighs, collects his things, walks out the door. There's nothing too exciting here. We get the usual thing. I don't know why he calls her a Sapphire Siren, because Sapphire is blue, right? That's my attack, you're blue now. And I don't think any part of her design you would use as blue. Like, her glasses aren't blue, her clothing isn't blue, her eyes aren't blue. Am I missing something? Admittedly, now, to be perfectly honest, I do happen to know that Sapphire, the gemstone, can come in some other colors. Because, you know, gemstones don't quite work like that. They do come, in fact, I think it can be yellow and red? I don't know 100%. But I do know it comes in some other colors, depending on the exact contaminations that it suffers from. Which is neat, you know. I'm just saying. But, yeah, I found that a very odd comment. I'm just a sad human sitting there without the third wheel. I mean, Anna, you're trying to be invisible. Shouldn't you be happy that you're a third wheel? That implies that you're not that important. Anyway, we get the same scene. Although it's really way more... It feels more elaborate. I feel like in the original, it was just like they walk into the garden, he goes, oh man, that sucks. She struggles to talk. She's like, hey, want to see our garden? Grabs his hand. I really do love that instead of him being like, oh no, it's girls! I got cooties now! I grow up in such a social bubble that I think this is how society still works. I like that idea, though. I really like the idea of, like, Anon is such a fucking shut-in, he doesn't even know. I would love that, right? I kind of want to write that into a couple of things I got going, and I want to write something else. Where it's like, where I take this gay idea and I'm like, Anon, what the fuck are you talking about? Do you have any idea how many gay people are actually in school? And he's like, no. And the answer's like, And the best part is I'm probably going to have Mia do it. I'm going to have a gender swap Mia do it because, for one, we all know we want it. We all know we want it. We just don't talk about it publicly. It's illegal. I do like that instead of that, he's like, should I be seen with this guy's girlfriend? And it's not the fucking 1950s! I know the kids in high school, they like to jibber-jabber because they got nothing better to do but study, but, like, come on! What is with American society and having such retarded hung-ups? Listen, I don't use retarded often, but my god, you people need to get an enema. Because you're just chock full of shit that no one should be holding on to. Just get it nice and cleansed out, you weirdos. Ugh, you're gross. Then there's the lewd is hand-holding. And we all know that the lewd thing that gays do is they stuff weird handkerchiefs in, like, their right or left back pockets, and it's like a whole language. Nowadays, you can just go on Tinder, but... Anna, are you on Tinder? Anna, you're 18. You can be on Tinder. Have you ever thought about going on Tinder? Wouldn't that be weird? Isn't it weird that, again, if we go by conservative estimates by 5 to 10%, how the fuck... Like, again, I really do think that the reason people hated the shit out of Fang is not the LGBT stuff. That was just, like, the little cherry on top where people are like... And on top of being an asshole, she's also being weird and pretentious about shit. All I'm saying is that if you want to be weird and pretentious, the least you can do is be affable in the process. Anyway, it's the nice flower beds. They're like my mom's garden, except pretty. Jesus Christ, I love that statement. It's so mean. They're all managed internally. It's all slave labor, Anon. It's all slave labor. She's completely out of gas. She doesn't know what to say. She doesn't even hold your hand. These flowers from early in the semester. I can't help but notice that we're kind of hamming this up a bit more. In the original, you could come with the appreciation that the real reason Naomi was doing this is she was trying to manipulate Anon, that there was a degree of, like, getting his sympathy or something. It always felt like she wasn't that bothered, but here we're, like, really making it like Naomi's fucked up. She's having it. With a timid frown. Like, she's, like, the hem of her shirt, she isn't holding his hands, she's, like, completely losing herself in the situation. I like that. I just don't know if it suits Naomi, who always felt like she... If anything ever actually happened to Nasser, I always got the impression she was just fuck off instantaneously. Just ejection sheet. Something bother you. You look mildly bothered, you know, with how you're trying to... With how you're tying a noose around your... Just mildly, you know. Something's bother you. I mean, it's like a really obvious... Anon, you're not laying it on thick. She's the one who's laying it on real thick. Which, again, is what in the original makes her seem so pretentious. Good job, Anon. Stick the landing. You're the gay friend. You're supposed to be good at this. 25% though. Holy shit. Apparently some Gallup poll did it. It's 2025. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I don't know what those kids actually answered. I just saw the number and went, okay, that's good enough. For, like, ballpark numbers, right? Because, again... Others say it's 10% over the whole population, from, like, adults and stuff. But, my god, that is so many people! And, again, this is a group of people that, for the most part, has been told to stick together. Although that's probably why the gays and the lesbians are pulling up the ladder. But even if they do that, they're, like, half of what's going on there. They're half of that. So you still got 25 people. And if they're gonna stick together, it's like... Do you really want to fuck with them? Also, it's entirely possible that, like, the boss of your soccer team or your football team or the cheerleading squad is, like, in on this. Remember that women are very much more inclined to this stuff because they have issues connecting with men who just don't actually give them anything they want outside of the physical element. I'm just saying. I wonder how many women became lesbian because men are just repulsive. Or at least used to be extraordinarily repulsive. People complain about the broccoli haircut, but I don't know, man. I don't know if that's really what you should be complaining about. Maybe you should complain about yourself. Look at the man in the mirror, as they say. And you'll meet your greatest villain. But my point is... You're the gay friend, Anon. You're supposed to be doing this way better. Come on. You're supposed to be... Although... Okay, listen. Let me put my beans down. I know I'm really stalling this. We're like 12 minutes in, and if I'd just been reading, it'd be fine. Anon is described as 6 foot tall, and he's apparently built enough that his dad is like you could go into football. The implication remains that Anon is the manly man and Fang is the girly girl. Even if the sex is changed around, the implication remains that Anon is dating an effeminate person to some extent, which means it's technically still straight, especially if Fang pulls it off. Although apparently, well enough apparently, that at a distance Anon didn't know. The gay man could not tell that wasn't a woman. So, I'm just saying, weird as it is, beard it is, beard but it's a guy. What? How? I don't know. But it's hilarious and extremely funny to me. And if the author was cognizant of that, maybe we could have a great laugh over this. Because what a joke. What a joke that would be. Goddamn. So, hey, Nasser, he texted a little bit, but Nasser, you know, he's a man, so he doesn't share his emotions. I mean, Ripley shares his emotions by snapping my neck, but Nasser shares his emotions by just not telling me anything, and then he throws himself off a rooftop and says, this is a good way to deal with my life's problems. I do appreciate that he's like, but I haven't exactly told him anything either. Like, it's really awkward to escalate a friendship like that. It's like, hey, Anna, I know we've talked for like 4 days. I'm planning to kill myself. Could you, like, help? It's like, man, you had to ask. Nobody needs to say that shit. God, this video is still messed up, but just remember, the original was worse, so please. Holy, imagine what the original was like. No, it's not really about him that he worries so much about people. And then she picks one of the flowers and starts picking the petals. Can you do that? Why isn't Rosa, like, immediately pile driving this woman? God damn. I just want to be more relaxed. Is that selfish for me to want? Checks up her flower with the sad emerald eyes. Never made eye contact with a girl before. I do like this one part. So, here's a question. Again, this is kind of why I went on that original rant in my original video, is... Does Naomi know? Does Naomi have a gaydar? Does Naomi know a friend that has a gaydar? The reason I ask is because, unless Naomi's original game, the idea is, here's this completely normal-ass looking guy. If he starts dating Fang, maybe the non-binary shit goes away, right? She just needs a man to fix herself, which... I don't know what to tell you, but there's a reason ending 1 goes the way it goes. in that regard. Um, but putting that behind us, if the implication is that Anon's just supposed to be Fang's friend, that's really lame. That's like really lowball and not that bad. Like setting someone up to start kissing, that's kind of but setting them up to just be friends is like you're just helping someone. You know, it's a bit more friendly. It's a bit less committal. But the original implication is that Naomi explicitly wants Anon and Fang to start fucking making out. But considering the odds, right? Let's go with statistics. If Fang is a guy, right? Fang is a dude, as far as we could tell. Hardcore dude. Non-negotiable. Anon's a guy. Non-negotiable. And let's go super conservative. Let's go generous. 25% chance that either of them is gay. What do you think the odds are? 1 in 16th that both of them are gay. Or even on the LGBT whatever, right? They might be asexual. They might just be like, I don't want to kiss anyone. It might be aromantic, I guess it's called. Might be demi, which like it's going to take a long fucking time. It might be more specific than that. It's like your odds are less than 1 in 16th, generously speaking. Like if the point is just to be friends, like is this where she learns? Because that I like. I really like the idea that Naomi always wanted to set them up, and this is like oh shit, I can make them date. Because maybe Naomi already knows. Because I feel like if Fang is gay, Fang would have talked about it at home. I'm just saying that Fang would have mentioned this at home. And Naomi should know, if through Nasser, then through someone else. You can work with this. Also, we all know that the real gay between Anon and Inko, it's both of them. The answer is always both of them. I don't care. It's both of them. We know it's true. We know it's true. Oh man, I wish my room wasn't so steamy. It's like I'm sitting in a sauna, but I don't have one of those spoons to throw on the coals to make it all. Oh, I'm choking here. Need to clean this up. Ugh. Sorry, I like how it calls it power. Isn't power level like your like specifically like you read anime and manga? I don't see how that has to relate to you know not reading Yuri. Ugh, what a loser. He doesn't read Yuri like normal people. Oh. Now he considers my words and then the nods. It's just that simple. Anyway, it's class time. But let's move on. I just mean to say that like there's a lot of logistics here that don't really make sense. If we're going with the idea that LGBT people are common enough that Naomi could make this assumption, or people are just bothered by sexual labels, yeah, fair. But the implication is that Anon got called a faggot, which means we're in like 90s territory of no one's fine with this. Polls say 60% of Americans are fine with the LGBT people, right? 60%. 60. I imagine the numbers for gay people is higher because, you know, they've been around for longer at this point. They've been public for longer at this point. I'm just saying, the fact that happens, it feels a little weird. Now, admittedly, I'm just going to put my little beans down. That's not how bullies work. Bullies don't care. Bullies care about what gets a rise out of you. And I could be the straightest man under the sun, and I'd still bully his ass for being a faggot. That's how the math works. That's how the bully works. I'm just saying. But greater scope, conceptually speaking, right? If we go to my chalkboard in this essay, as I walk through the hallways, check the nominee's classroom, still a little paranoid about walking to the wrong classroom with a new school. I mean, I like how between being a fucking weeb, a lanklet, and a homosexual, your concern is walking into the wrong classroom. Man's got those mundane, everyday problems, like being worried that he'll start making out with a teacher out of nowhere. God damn it. I don't even know if that is a porn plot or not. Gross! You, Wait, what the fuck? You, skinny! I hear someone calling out from behind me. Hearing that word makes me tense up, as I know it's addressed me. Didn't Anon come from a school that was way more human-centric? Why would people call you skinny at that point? Like, I know that apparently in some African-American subcultures, they have reclaimed the N-word as a word. But, I'm just saying, Anon should be, like, only tangentially familiar. Although, actually, if that is the case, then any dinosaurs that were in that school probably would be using that term more aggressively to, like, mark their territory or something. I don't know how that works socially speaking. Get your head out of your asses, man. All this shit matters. Why are you being so weird about it? Why do people gotta be so weird about it? Just fucking grow up and live your life. Why is America so obsessed with this concept of status? Ugh. Ah! Makes my tongue feel like I just licked a giant jar of sour kraut. What is a jar of sauerkraut? Why? If I'm licking the jar, right, then I'm licking glass. That's what I'm saying. And that word made me tense up, as I know it had to be addressed to me. I'm the only human in school, after all, and they're not going to call a fucking teacher. That's a good way to get expelled, I imagine. I clench my fists as I turn around, preparing myself for bullying or worse, when I see her call to me. It's Fang, that's his brother, and he's headed right towards me. Oh, fuck. For some reason, my brain started the sentence with, oh, it's Nasser, Fang's brother. And I was like, why would you introduce Nasser as Fang? Oh, no, it's the other way around. Yeah, God, this video is fucking cracked. Fucking hot-boiled. Hard-boiled. I want to yell at someone on Discord right now. But I'm already yelling at everything enough. Oh, fuck. Does he remember me from the stairway from the first day? From the concert? I'm the only skinny in the crowd. I must have stuck out like a sore thumb. Glancing up at him, he doesn't look too angry. No, I don't think he recognizes me. Thank God. What he really looks like is that is lost. Why that's he? There's a couple other things I mentioned and noticed in the original recording of this one too. But small little things, you know. Let's focus on this. Like I did on my first day here. Why did it have to be? But why would he be nervous? He's probably been here all 4 years. He's just had leftover anxiety from the concert. I mean, he was gone for a couple of days. Don't forget that. Now walks out of me and picks his 4-armed feathers. Is he a junkie or something? Did you see what they want? He asks. There's no hint of anger or recognition in his voice. So I guess he really doesn't remember me, thankfully. I think we can leave this to the... again, you don't have to include stuff like this when it's already implied by Anon's sort of emotional focus. You know, because he's already like, oh no, does he remember me? Logically, he would be thankful. Or you can put like a little few here. You know, put some cute little onomatopoeia. I still have no idea what he's talking about, though. I haven't seen anyone in this hallway until he showed up. What is this Silent Hill Lynchian hallway you got yourself stuck in, buddy? You're in high school. How's this empty? Although maybe he went late. I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be late. It might be that. I want to ask who, but he's backed me into a locker. Oh no, Anon. I'm sorry to tell you, but now all of your effort has to go and focus on one thing. We all know what it is. I'm not gonna say it, but keep it in mind. And I can't get the words to come out of my mouth. Those words, of course, being, can you lend me $5? The group with the, Well, at least Fang seems to be cool out his depth in this conversation. I mean, he talks to, like... Actually, Fang would be talking to... Like, I don't know. I rubbed my last 2 brain cells to get fun to get away. Dinosaurs? I fell miserably. Good fucking job, Anon. No. Yellow hoodie. Red hair. Pink tail. Hair buns. Fang says that as if it clears anything up. I try my best to form a mentally limited person with all those descriptors. Nothing comes to mind. That's a fucking vibrant-ass character. Yellow hoodie, red hair, pink tail, hair buns. That's aggressive. Is that a group of people or one person? You know what I really don't like in some fics? You know what I really fucking hate about some fics? Is they go with the obvious fucking statement of, like, they make a character sound smarter by making an assumption that we know is going to get made or explained later. Is all I'm saying. I don't like it when people do that. Because it always makes a character sound smarter than they really should be. Because in the original, that's already how that went. Why are you changing this detail? I say. Fang huffs a little, and his expression goes from timid to annoyed. Especially if you're keeping the actual length. Like, you're not even shortening things for brevity's sake. You're just fucking giving this character next line. What? No. Who's no? His voice gets a little high, and his wings start to ruffle. It's then that I find out that he's actually a girl. No, wait, he's a... God damn. Fang, please sit still. I'm trying to use my sex analyzer so I know how horny I can get about this. I can tell I'm starting to get on his nerves, but honestly, I'm trying not to. I panic a little as I try to think of something to say that could de-escalate this. Dinos, right? Yes, you're the only human in school, Binkus. Fang looks at me like it's just the stupid thing imaginable to him. To be fair, I did. He flaps his wing once. Wow. Once on a long, exasperated sigh. I'm wasting my time with you. I mean, yeah, man. You probably are a Fang. A Fang? A Fang? Are you trying to say a fag? But Anna, you're a fag. You're both gonna be making out by the end of the story. That's just how shit goes. Just like that, he walks off, his wings ruffling at his sides. That could have gone better. At least he didn't recognize me, I guess. The tardy bell rings out through the hallway. Shit, don't have time to tell us now, Anna. You gotta get your ass to homeroom. Rest of the day flows by with no further additions or science class. Just stare at the clock and watch time crawl by. One last student arrives for class right before the. I feel. Let me put something down. Let me put my little beans down. Put this on a new line. This sentence implies that some sort of action is going to take place. This action has now been completed. Put a space in between so that mentally you can. It's just a structural thing that I think makes it flow a little better. Man, someone is really fucking loving this archaeologist raptor girl thing. Do you want to see this cool sedimentary rock I found? I have another sedimentary rock by my hand back if you want to see that one too. I hope the sedimentary rock is pretty. But personally, listen, okay? Listen. I know sedimentary rock. People like that shit, right? But I'm more of a metamorphic kind of guy. Okay, I'm metamorphic. I like metamorphic rock. You want to know why? You want to know why? It's not like the kind of rock you get when the lava cools. Shit. No, it's the other way around. I think igneous is what I'm thinking of. I like igneous rock. Igneous is cool! Give me that fat igneous rock hot dog. Ah, it's so crunchy and made of metal. That's some hematite, alright. Please imagine the loud crunching sounds between my teeth. Oh, man. Man, I love... geology. Don't know nothing about geology. I didn't know the metamorphic rock was the other one. But sedimentary is kind of lame to me. It's just like, it's just deposits. It's sedimentary. It's in rivers. Blech! Get that out of here. Get your sand out of here. It's frying it, yeah. I don't remember being in any of my classes before, though. I think about it. This is probably his first day back since concert. So logically, when the fuck would I have seen him? I would love it if he was, like, at least self-deprecating about it. It's like, oh, you fucking idiot. He's been gone since the concert. Why would you see him? Just have Anon hit himself on the head. He's still a giant fucking loser about things right now. Come on. Let him have it. He quickly takes a seat at the back of the class, not talking or looking at anyone. To my surprise, everyone else just ignores him, too. Figured a few people might stare or shuckle. Man, I love Shuckle. He's a cute old guy. But it's like he's a ghost. I don't know what's worth. Being laughed at or being completely ignored. Hold up. We need to turn on some Latin fun of Knax. We're jamming. We're jiving. Man, 30 minutes. I could have finished this chapter already if I wasn't so distracted by a bunch of completely tangential topics that feel more relevant than they are. Listen, I get it if you want to be like, I understand that Goodbye Volcano High and this world and everything are in wildly opposite spaces. Goodbye Volcano High seems to have a far higher amount of people that are LGBT, whereas this one has a far lower one. But you can just set it in the fucking 90s at that point. Just admit that you want to go back to the 90s and talk about the 90s where everyone made those fucking high school movies that weren't about shooting people to death. Man, what a variety of genres we had. They're usually the same fucking movie anyway. Also made Net Survival Guide so funny to me. Because, like, it's all about an American high school, and it's like, some of these tips are so weird, and they don't apply on a bunch of levels. Not even like social clique levels. I'm talking about some structural stuff that it's just funny. I don't remember if they translated them directly and just kept them or not. All I remember though is that September is a summer month. Don't put on those warm jackets. And where were we? At Ellsworth, being laughed at or being completely ignored. The chatter in the room dies down as the teacher sits up from his desk and addresses the class. Today we have a lab about magnetic fields. Please find a partner and collect a worksheet from the front of class. My heart sinks as I hear those words. Oh no! I have to find a partner and I'm talking collab partner. I don't know why you're so spastic about everything today. I don't know. It's Valentine's Day. It's coming up. I'm so sad. Also, I have this... This is a weird thing to have. Let me talk about this. Let's go on another tangent. I'm already fucking up today as bad as it is. So, I talked a long time ago. I mentioned someone who on a website was like, hey, buddy, I'm working on a project for Goodbye Volcano High. I would like your input, blah, blah, blah. Because apparently I'm big man or something. And this guy and I talked. And one of the things he mentions is he wanted to keep Anon from Snoot Game because he likes Goodbye Volcano High and Snoot Game, which is why I want to make a Goodbye Volcano High like. And one of the things that I really liked about the conversation that we had is he pointed out, I want to keep Anon. And Anon and humans are more stereotyped against because they really have no fucking reason to have any societal standing. And Anon depersonalizes himself. Anon legitimately sees himself as a thing, as an object, because in his mind, the dinosaurs got it going on, you know. And I really like that idea. And I honestly wonder if, like, Anon was actually gay. Like, he was the gay, right? And he goes to 4chan. He goes to this shit website that apparently stuck in the 90s. In this time loop. Right? Wouldn't he be like, I'm not sexual at all? Wouldn't he try to fix himself by looking up straight porn and trying to convince himself otherwise? Would he completely disregard his sexuality and, like, go with, I'm nothing? I'm not a human being. I'm a thing. I'm broken. I don't know. I feel like you're missing a step here considering the kind of character we're dealing with. There's a couple more dynamics you can glue onto him, which I will explore. Am I the right person for that? Oh, fuck no. Hell no. But I want it. Who's gonna stop me? The police? Maybe. Maybe. My heart sinks when I hear those words. There's nothing I hate more than group projects. I go up and grab a worksheet shit out of my desk. I don't even bother looking for a partner. I know nobody wants to be mine already. What did you do? As I get to work, the old science teacher walks out. Oh, come on, Adam. Your partner's waiting for you. What? Who would want to partner with some loser skitty? I sat there for a moment, dumbstruck. Impossible. This is impossible. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Very well. If you'd rather sit here, I suppose that's fine. Fang, could you kindly move to Anon here? I sat there in confusion like the old teacher just threw a flashbang into my brain. That's one too many periods, and that comma should not be there because this is just the whole sentence. Because this implies that he sat there in confusion just like the old teacher. And then he just threw a flashbang. The alarm bells in my head rang for the first time since NASA held my hand. Well, he's got a girlfriend, you're fine. I can almost see the spaghetti in my pocket starting to leak out. And I'll sit up straight, minimize leakage. Whoops. Sup. Fang says he takes a seat opposite me. I can usually talk to guys with no issue. I'm struggling to get the words out. It's probably because he got my BDSM kink on when he pushed me against the... I don't know if it's because of how Fang's dressed or knowing he's like me. It's making the alarms when I go DEFCON. I bow down on my inner cheek. Wait, when? At what point did you figure out? At what point did we establish that Fang is gay? Thanks, you too. Retard. Listen, this is where you use text markup. Come on, bold and italicized. But at what point is Fang's homosexuality hard established? I feel like, again, the big thing about LGBT people is that they're kind of invisible. Because a lot of it is internal. And sure, if you're trans or you're a little funny or you're like wearing pride stuff, that's a whole nother matter. But for the most part, you can obfuscate the truth as it is. Also, people have to bitch about puberty blockers, but apparently those are like, they're not a problem. You can just stop them, and puberty is like, buddy, I've been waiting for this one all year. And it'll just come back like an asshole. You can't get rid of him. He just goes to jail until time's up. Pull up! Pull up! No, not my penis! I don't really know much. How about you? Recovery stabilized. Spaghetti successfully kept in pot. I don't think so, man. You already said it. You already said it. And you already started freaking out. None of your business. Just do your damn assignment and don't bother me. Fang's face scrunches up into an annoyed-looking scowl. You upset or something? And why are you asking? You two will never smooch. Fang's scowl deepens and his ring will ruffle against the floor a little. Long wings. That seems uncomfortable. Are you gonna sweep the floor next? Yeah, stupid. What's your first clue? That's out of size. Actually, no. If they're sitting on normal chairs. I always think about long chairs because when I think of science class, I think of my chemistry class. And in my chemistry class, we sat on these really tall stools for some reason. Probably because the desks were meant for standing, you know, because when you're doing lab experiments, you gotta get up a lot, so you might as well make them standing desks, etc. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, stupid. What was your first clue? Let's out of size. He calmed himself. Look, just don't bother me, dear Simon. Yeah, I can manage that. Just keep my head down. This will all be over with. Don't have to even take out my emergency meth supply. With that, we open our books and get to work. Science has always been my strong suit, and we breeze through the questions. I haven't sure Fang how I built a railgun over winter break. I hate it when people bring that one up, and they bring it up like this, but whatever, man. If we're gonna make it a throwaway line, fantastic. We can just get it out of our fucking systems and live our lives. As the period is starting to wind down, it's only starting to wind down. It's not winding down, it's starting to wind down. The teacher goes by each group and asks if they need any help. Eventually, he gets to the weirdos in the back of the classroom. How are you two doing? Need any help? We're fine, Dr. Farnsworth. Fang is the first to answer. The old dino gives him a slight smile before turning to me. And you add on? Truthfully, this assignment's been remarkably easy, but then again, it's also my hyperfixation. I can't stop thinking about those beans! Everybody said I'm doing fine. Farnsworth smiles, immediately goes to concern. What? I turned to Fang to see what the big deal is. Was I supposed to say, you're looking handsome there today, Fang? Goddamn. Fags these days are gotten really demanding. Oh, mistakes have been made. I've not seen Fang this mad since constant. You got a full view of that one. His eyes take a predatory glint. He glares directly at me. I like how it's a predatory glint. They're not just like staring daggers in your heart. His wings rise from his back and start to stretch out. Oh shit, this is real bad. Fang spits the word at me with utter contempt. Ah, could you not spit at me? I don't have feathers. I feel them on my skin. Yeah? He? Fang snarls at me and his waves rings. I appreciate that Anon makes the big whoopsie of going for it twice. Also, technically, that should be between quotation marks. Again, within quotations, I like to go for single apostrophes just to keep things clear, and I use single apostrophes for thinking. But I've been told it doesn't matter as long as you keep it consistent. Similar to how you should keep it consistent whenever you put the verb before or after the noun if you're doing like a split sentence. If you go like, hello there, he said, or said he. Whatever you're going with, you gotta keep it consistent. I don't want to though! I think both have their charms and their moments. Can you not see? Fang says that if anything, explains anything. I'm gonna put my little hands on. I would love it if he went, that you're gay. That is like the bombshell fuck up that Anon deserves. Is that he goes, oh, that you're a faggot? Not, or that, like, I'm just saying, it's like the thing Anon should say. Given everything. It's perfect, and it makes him look like the biggest dingus. He's already fucked up super. Let's make him fuck up super duper. Or mega, if you wish. I do end up looking down, up and down. One, kiss I miss something? As I mean, I see nothing but this guy. Anon, again, how are you not turned on? And two, somewhat more importantly, for a man who's like having issues talking to someone because you're like, oh man, I'm 18 years old and I'm experiencing love for the first time in my life. Wouldn't you be a bit more like, oh, I really shouldn't have done that? I'm just distracting myself. I just feel, right? Like, original Anon didn't do it right. Original Anon did it because he knows he's a loser. He knows he's going to get fucked up and he knows he can't get away with it. So the reason he doesn't do it is like, I'm perfectly fine. This Anon doesn't seem to have that. We don't have that built in yet. He has like some reservations with girls, but he knows Fang's not one of those. After Jesus, this is the worst case scenario. Not even my nightmares were this bad. Fang starts to slowly slap his wings and jabs his index finger talon into my chest. Well, guess what would be a talon if we're dealing with avian creatures? I think there's a difference though. Also, technically, the finger's not the talon. The talon's the nail. Are we doing this fucking thing where people are pointing claws and people are like, no, that's not the claw, that's the fucking finger. That's your bones. Also, love that they're including the wings a bit more. Harry. So, guy loves using uppercase when you shouldn't, and then he doesn't when he should. It's great. Love it. My face turns to shock as I realize how completely I misread the situation. I must have noticed my shock, and a snarl turns into a cruel grin. Did you think I was a guy? I mean, yeah, but in my fear, I blurted out something far, far more... Oh my god, You know, I gave you a lot of shit, Arthur. I gave you a lot of shit. But you know what? I'm gonna stand up. We're at the Oscars. You know what? I thought you were gonna miss the mark, but you boomeranged that bitch. I thought you were gay. My god. We're... Finally! My dreams come true. Fang's face becomes a whirlwind of emotions before deciding to settle on rage. At that moment, the world goes to slow motion as he winds his right arm all the way back. I try to move, but I can't. It's like my feet are cemented to the floor. As Fang's fist swings towards me. It's like watching time slowly speed up until he makes contact with my face. This implies that he's standing up. I thought it was, whatever. Details. Doesn't matter. Again, if it doesn't practically matter to the narrative, don't explain it. If it's not thematically or like, mechanically relevant, you're wasting time. You're wasting time. And that's good if you're trying to waste time. Trying to show that someone's absorbed in the scene over analyzing things, but otherwise don't. As he connects, it feels like getting hit by a fucking bus. Say a truck. People like getting hit by a truck. And I fall flat on my ass out of my chair. But how are your feet relevant? At that point, use your calves, man. Your feet are not the problem. Still duck. Duck and move. Dodge backwards. As I fall onto the floor, my chair falls over to me, and a loud crash catches the class's attention. Everyone goes quiet. Oh, wait, no. This is the wrong song. I'm still... Listen, I got really distracted, okay? Why is there a fucking shortcut to a folder in the file where the folder is? Safi, you bingus. This is the rockin' it. This is not the dramatic highs. There we go. Everyone goes quiet, no eyes are on us now. Farnsworth is the first to break the silence in the classroom.
Fang, go out into the hallway. I'll be with you in a moment.
Fang walks out of the classroom, all righteous fury gone and replaced with an intense embarrassment as all eyes follow him out. Farnsworth then sighs and gives me a sympathetic look.
I'm sorry I didn't stop them immediately. Good news, everyone. I know you didn't mean anything by your comments. If you want to clean up your face, though, son.
Why? Oh no. I got glitter mess. I got nail polish glitter all over my cheek. That'll never wash out. I guess this is my life now. Got to feel my cheek where Fang punched me and see marks of blood on my hand. His thumb talon must have scratched me. Oh, Jesus. Thankfully, it's not too deep of a cut. Only enough to make me bleed a little. I was like, it's just enough to make me bleed. I'd like to point out that, like, there are several layers of scratch. One is, like, you just get that little white mark, you know, from top layer follicles. They got the deeper one where you can kind of feel it and they got the one where it's tingly. Then you get the blood. You're, like, several types of scratches in, my man. Unless we're trying to be like Anon's a big tough boy, which is so counter to his fucking character to make him a big tough boy. I mean, him being big is fine, but making him tough too, like you're spending way too much character diversity budget here. As I go to wash off my face. Ah, no! It's like in Face Off! Where's my face? As I go to wash my face, the class goes back to normal. How would you know? You're washing... Oh, no, he's in a science class. It's probably like one of those washing stations. The ambient chatter of the room continues. What the fuck just happened? Well, Fang blew up when I called him a he, but he was already upset about something when they got to class. Was he still upset about the concert? And he got publicly embarrassed in front of a whole fucking bunch of class people. And his... I don't know, man. He has all the right to be a little annoyed at this point. I think just pushed him over the edge. After a few moments, Fang comes back into the classroom and sits down next to me. Sorry, Anon. He doesn't look at me as he says it. Instead, he looks down at his textbook. It's best not to push the issue, though. An apology is an apology. No, don't worry about it. Barely even broke skin. I sheepishly grinned, but he still hasn't looked at me. Now that I think about it, how come Nasa never told me Fang was non-binary? How come he never told me that Fang was not bunny? I thought he was a bunny boy, but he was a bunny girl. I guess I never asked because I thought he was gay, but still, would it have killed him to clarify? What, Nasser was gay? I'm just saying, this is a pronoun funny business. That's not a bad one, because again, if it's the last person, then usually the pronouns refer to the last person talked about. If you start mixing it up and it was referring to Nasser, then it's weird. But still, would it have killed him to clarify? As I scanned through our conversations in my mind, he always did refer to Fang as they or sibling. Again, quotation marks for fuck's sake. Also, uppercase missing. The consistency is great. Just ace. Like my consistency is any better. But he just never outright said it. Did you think I'd pick up from context clue? It's a big ass for me to read the room. Let me be clear, right? As much as I'm talking about like 25% of all people are apparently LGBT, I still think this is a lot to ask. I think that if you want to communicate this, you got to be clear about it. And if you meet someone, you got to be clear about it. Don't assume that people know your existence magically, right? If you're going to be different from what some magical baseline is, then expect people to ask questions, is what I'm saying. Or at the very least, contribute to that environment. Be like, hey, I'm not, and you can avoid this problem in the future. If they feel like that's a problem, you can give them the solution of like asking first. I don't know. I'm just saying, you don't gotta walk into the room with your leggy out. It's not a leggy out kind of look. Wait, are you even listening to me? I'm snapped out of my thoughts by Fang. He's glaring right at me. Oh no. Oh no! He's hot! It's fucking Squidward meme. No. He mutters something on his vest and goes back to his assignment. You've been staring at me for the past 5 minutes, weirdo. Oh, I must have zoned out for a minute. Or 5. You're not Inko! Come on! Well, I mean, he does it in the original, so... Well, I better apologize to them, too. Looks like we're going to be working together a lot in this class. We're like 2 left socks with no... What the fuck? Oh, because they're outcasts. I thought it meant something deep, but no, it's just we're outcasts. I appreciate that he's trying. Them and then his. He's. You know. Sorry, the cultural guy Fang. Sorry for saying you were gay-mo-sexual. Fang stops working to time to stare at me. Non-binary people don't know you androgyny. For your information, I'm pansexual, not gay. Which is mostly because if you're once you step out of the binary, all right. I'm sorry to tell you, you can't. I guess if you step out of the binary, you can still be bisexual, right? Because that's just like men or women, or is that straight or gay? Because if it's straight or gay, then you can't be bisexual. You can only be pan. It's almost like the LGBT community needs to have a serious conversation about putting labels on everything when there's so many fucking considerations to have. God damn. It's like a fucking Pokemon type chart out here. He spits that last word out venomously. It's like he doesn't want to talk about it right now. Maybe it's time to switch topics. Also, put a space here, buddy. So you're Nasa's brother, right? Fang lets out a huff and glares at me. Sip. Oh, come on, Arnold, don't fuck this up already. He already punched you once, man. You can only make this worse. Sorry, my bad. Fang pauses for a moment, and his angered look subsides. That's just my baby brother, yeah. Why do you care? For some reason, I thought Nasa was the older two. You know, because he's taller, tanner, more handsome. Has a girlfriend. Hasn't fucked up his life. Has a bright future ahead of him. Knows how to do his taxes. I'm just saying, Fang, there's a lot of little details. For a moment, I consider asking why they look so different, but I'm walking on eggshells as is. He's mentioned you a few times. Nasa's been a big help with getting me settled into school. Fang rolls his eyes at that last part. Ugh. Come on, man, get the pronouns right. I know that it's really hard, and like, my brain is like settled on shit, and it loves to throw a fit about stuff like this. Ugh. Of course it is. I just wish you would stay out of my business. Thinking about Nasa reminds me of when Oma told me in the gardens today. I've been a worried mess about that brother of his the past few days. Since the concert, really. I think this will so much time since for work. Fang, Nasa told me about what happened the other day. I'm sorry for what happened to you and the band. Puppet Palace has ruined the band for me forever. Fang stops for a moment and glances off to the side. Why do you care? Huh? Why do I care? I mean, it's no skin off my back that he and his band got shit for being bad. And Spears will roll around in my head again. God damn it, caveman! You know, you should kind of ease up on the name calling there. They're doing a lot lately. I think it's messed up. People would go to a show just to make fun of you. Well, they did go for the free pizza, but he doesn't need to hear that right now. Fang glances over at me and he molds over my explanation in his head. Guess you're not that bad, like every other guy in this school. I guess that counts as a compliment. Excuse me, it's a compliment. It's one of his secondary weaponries. Actually, what other definitions are for compliment? Because it's compliment with an I. Compliment. A thing that contributes extra features to something else. The number of quantity of something, especially a full complement of staff. I always think of weapon compliments. But whatever. I'm gonna go dance. I managed to make a little more small talk before the end of class. When the class is over, I give him a sheepish smile and a small wave of handing over to my next class. And to my surprise, he waves back. Oh no! You know, people talk about hand-holding, but no one talks about how extraordinarily gay it is to get to wave. Oh shit, we got a whole bunch of Spanito. Why is the first comment so much Spanito? I kind of want to say the Spanito, because I don't try. Right more now. Oh, it's impressive that I was able to figure out that agora means now. More of this gay shit. You need to feed me more. Feed me more, feed me more. Now seriously, are you thinking of making Fang truly non-binary transition or biologically a Fang that sees themselves non-binary? That's an interesting way to put it. If he's male from the beginning, how are you going to approach relationship with Simpson and George, and how much of what I've seen so far from this Fang is feminine behavior? There's no such thing as a man who hits another man with slaps. Listen, putting aside the sexism, I've seen slapping contests. I've seen Moist Critical talk about slapping contests. A man slaps another man, and it's fucking brutal. Jesus, apparently that shit can do some real damage. Fang is a male, yes, and I do plan on Fang is a male, like Fang and Snoot game was female. As far as the slap, I'll take a look at that. I plan from the swing on Anna on Simpson and nerves without it be too much. It is a lot. Just a bop on the nose. A little bump on the noggin. I changed my movie to realize to make clear exactly why I get so flustered around Fang and not the other guys at school. I changed the first meeting a little. Oh, shit! So there's something I missed. Hey, you missed, pal. I don't get it. BL. Boy love, I think. Incoming, y'all. Like Mythic already. Don't like the overall SG feeling of it for now, at least. Feels like you're just reading the game again. I always hate that about Fics when they just copy paste things. Don't know why, but that's something that makes it attractive. Gotta follow the story there. I mean, the big thing, right, is I've always mentioned this. If the only thing you're changing is the genders of characters, like if you're just changing the characteristics and optics, like why are you even fucking bothering at that point? Oh, I was nervous about deviating too much from the events of Snoot game when I first started writing. I'm more comfortable with. It's an important thing to get comfortable with because again, people don't want to read just the Snoot game again. Oh, this chapter's fucking short. I think I'm just gonna do this right away because I'm feeling sexy. I'm feeling very sexy. I'm gonna listen. If for some odd reason, right, you need to. All I'm saying is that if you need to